He had the right papers. He had the right visa. In 2025, he was named Africa's Referee of the Year. Over 8 years, Omar Abdul Kadir Arden worked his way through African football officiating to reach the moment every referee hopes for, a World Cup. He had officiated at the Africa Cup of Nations. He had refereed a continental final. FIFA selected him as one of just 52 officials trusted to oversee matches at the biggest sporting event in the world. On June 6 days before the opening match, he flew to Miami carrying the achievements of an entire career. What followed lasted 11 hours. According to Arden's account, he was questioned for 11 hours at Miami International Airport. Many of the questions focus on Al-Shabaab, the militant group operating in parts of Somalia. Somalia is the country where Arden was born in 1992. It is the country he represented throughout a decade of football officiating. It had nothing to do with why he was standing in an airport hallway explaining himself to border officials. He presented his FIFA documents. He provided proof of his credentials and achievements. He answered questions for 11 hours. He was then placed in a holding cell and put on a flight back to Istanbul. Afterward, Arden spoke publicly. He said he was very disappointed. He said he was simply a referee trying to live the biggest dream of his life. Officiating at the World Cup, he said he had the right papers and the right visa. None of it changed the outcome. Officials ruled him inadmissible because of what they described as vetting concerns. No further explanation was provided. Somalia is one of 39 countries on a travel restriction list. FIFA later confirmed that Arden would not officiate at the 2026 World Cup. The organization stated that it was not involved in the host country's immigration process and that decisions regarding visas and entry ultimately belonged to the host government. It also said his situation would not change. One question has remained unresolved. Why was Arden not reassigned to matches in Canada or Mexico, where there was no indication that he would have faced entry restrictions? Why was there no alternative plan for a referee selected by FIFA itself? Arden was Africa's Referee of the Year. He officiated the CAF Champions League final. He became the first Somali official to referee a continental final. Yet he spent 11 hours being questioned about a terrorist organization before being sent home. This happened on the eve of the tournament. The opening match was scheduled for June 11th at the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. On June 9th, Arden was already on a flight back to Istanbul. After 8 years of work, he was left with nothing except the dignity he displayed in speaking about what had happened. His story is also part of a broader pattern that has surrounded this World Cup for months. It illustrates the gap between the tournament's promises and the realities that have emerged around it. To understand that gap fully, it must be viewed alongside other developments, including the controversy surrounding Iran's tickets and the contrasting approaches taken by Canada and Mexico. Canada's role in this tournament begins with the character of its host cities. Toronto is home to more than 200 nationalities. That is not a slogan. It is a documented fact. Football communities connected to nearly every nation in the tournament have roots there. Bosnian supporters who have followed their national team for decades. Italian communities with memories of past World Cups. Senegalese families who made Canada their home. Members of the Iranian diaspora who could attend matches in Canada even when circumstances made attendance elsewhere difficult. Moroccan communities inspired by their country's run to the World Cup semifinals in 2022. On June 11th, Canada Soccer House opened in Toronto and North Vancouver. Entry is free. No ticket is required. Doors open for the tournament's first match, Mexico against South Africa, allowing supporters to gather in spaces built around inclusion and community. Canada Soccer's Director of Community and Sport Inclusion described the initiative as an opportunity for belonging, celebration, and shared experiences through football. Whether visitors come to watch matches, meet players, connect with supporters, or enjoy the atmosphere with family and friends, the message is the same. Everyone is welcome. Toronto's Fan Festival operates at Fort York National Historic Site and the Bentway, a public venue created beneath the city's elevated highway. It runs from June 10th through July 19th and is free to attend. Canada's World Cup theme is simple: the world in a city. For Toronto, that description reflects reality. The city already embodies a diversity that the tournament is meant to represent. Transportation plans were communicated clearly in advance. Supporters can reserve access to Canada's soccer house during busy periods. Information about entering Canada was published through official channels with clear guidance on documents, timelines, and application procedures. The message remained consistent. Canada is excited to host. Apply early. Here is what you need. Here is what to expect. You are welcome. That message has become one of the clearest distinctions between arriving at a World Cup in Canada and arriving in the United States. Visitors are told they are welcome, and they have reason to believe it. Vancouver offers a different but equally compelling experience. The city combines a compact downtown, the Pacific coastline, and mountain scenery, surrounding a stadium that holds just over 54,000 spectators. Every match is expected to be played before a full crowd, including Canada's fixtures in the city. In a venue that size, atmosphere concentrates quickly. The result is an environment unlike anything Canada's players have previously experienced at the international level. The national team enters the tournament in strong form, unbeaten in 7 matches before the opening game. Jonathan David arrives as one of League One's most productive forwards in recent seasons. Alphonso Davies returns from a recovery process that drew significant attention throughout the preparation period. Ismail Kone has been described by the manager as an X-factor. The squad draws talent from clubs across Europe, including Bayern Munich, Lille, Arsenal, and Juventus. It represents the most complete expression yet of modern Canadian football, playing at home in front of a country that has spent 2 decades preparing for this moment. Mexico's contribution to the tournament reflects a different strength. Its most significant act did not take place on the field. As complications surrounding Iran's participation in the United States intensified, Mexico offered a practical solution. A qualified nation faced uncertainty around visas, officials, and logistics, while managing circumstances no tournament schedule was designed to accommodate. Mexico responded by opening its doors. The governor of Baja California stated that Tijuana was prepared to welcome Iran's national team and make it feel a home. Mexico's president later confirmed the arrangement and emphasized that Mexico maintains relations with countries around the world. The Iranian ambassador responded with a Persian proverb about friendship revealing itself during difficult moments. He was referring to Mexico. Iran's players arrived in Tijuana on June 7th. Supporters greeted their convoy as it entered the training facility. The team is based in Mexico, crossing the border on match days before returning south afterward. No one planned for such an arrangement. No existing regulation was designed around it. It exists because Mexico chose to make it work. Then another issue emerged. On the day before the tournament opened, the Iranian Football Federation claimed that FIFA had withdrawn its entire allocation of tickets for Iran's 3 group stage matches in the United States. Under World Cup procedures, each federation receives 8% of stadium capacity for its matches. For Iran, that represents thousands of tickets per game. These tickets are typically distributed among dedicated supporters, diaspora communities, and fans who follow the national team across the world. According to the Federation, the allocation had been removed entirely. It said it could no longer offer a single ticket to supporters for any of its 3 matches. FIFA did not immediately confirm or deny the claim publicly. At the same time, FIFA was already facing questions over Arten's exclusion. Now it faced allegations that a qualified nation's supporters had lost access to their allocated tickets days before the tournament began. Iran's officials faced visa difficulties. Its team was based in another country. Its supporters reportedly could not access their allocation of tickets. FIFA's public position remained that entry decisions ultimately belonged to the host government. Former England international Ian Wright responded in a video that spread widely online. He said that every few hours another story seemed to emerge. Fans denied, players denied, officials denied, journalists denied, and now referees. He described the situation as a World Cup of chaos. He questioned whether this reflected how a host should treat the world's biggest football tournament. Most notably, Wright said he felt for American football supporters. He spoke about people in the United States who had waited for this opportunity and wanted to be proud of how their country hosted the tournament. He said they must feel embarrassed by the events surrounding it. His criticism was directed less at supporters than at the circumstances unfolding around them. The contrast between Canada and Mexico on one side and the United States on the other is not primarily about stadium size or the number of matches. It is about the quality of the welcome offered the world. At the Azteca, the opening ceremony featured Shakira, Burna Boy, and Maná before tens of thousands of football supporters. In Mexico City, the Zocalo opened as a free fan festival for 39 days. Toronto's fan festival was built around locations that reflect the city's identity and history. Elsewhere, several plans were scaled back or canceled. The fan festival plan for Liberty State Park in New Jersey was canceled. Seattle's fan campus was reduced from 74 acres to 4 smaller locations. Dallas still had 350,000 unsold match tickets when city officials received an update. An England warm-up match in Tampa attracted 13,000 spectators in a stadium built for 69,000. And throughout it all, Omar Artan remained one of the defining images of the tournament's opening days. For Somalia, the implications extend beyond one individual. Artan became the first Somali official to referee a continental final. For young referees across the country, he represented proof that the path to the highest level existed. He demonstrated that dedication, skill, and persistence could carry a Somali referee all the way to the World Cup. Then, after 11 hours in an airport hallway, that journey ended before it began. For those who followed his career, the message is difficult to ignore. The World Cups remembered most fondly are remembered for more than football. France in 1998, Japan and Korea in 2002, South Africa in 2010. What endures are not only the goals. It is a sight of supporters from every corner of the world gathering in the same places. It is a sense that the tournament belongs to everyone. It is a feeling that the invitation is genuine. Canada has tried to deliver that experience. Toronto reflects it. Vancouver reflects it. The message has been consistent across planning, communication, and execution. Mexico has delivered it as well. It is visible in the opening ceremony at the Azteca, the free fan festival in the Zocalo, and the decision to welcome a national team facing extraordinary circumstances. That contrast has become one of the defining themes of this tournament before a ball has been kicked. Omar Artan understands that contrast better than most. He had the right papers. He had the right visa. He was Africa's Referee of the Year. Yet he spent 11 hours being questioned about a terrorist organization before being placed on a flight home. Not to Canada. Not to Mexico. To Istanbul. There is still football to be played. The matches begin today. The game itself will remain what it has always been, independent of the administrative failures surrounding it. Elite players will produce moments that outlast controversy. In Toronto, Vancouver, Mexico City, Guadalajara, and Monterrey, supporters will experience a tournament as they hoped they would. Accessible, welcoming, and filled with the energy of football at the highest level. But Omar Artan is in Istanbul. Iran supporters reportedly have no allocation of tickets for their team's matches. Ian Wright felt compelled to speak publicly. And the central question surrounding the primary host remains unresolved. For supporters who waited years for this tournament and wanted their country to showcase the best of the game, the answer continues to emerge one story at a time.